So we started off looking at, again, movies like Skyfall and a lot of the old James Bond stuff, even just Mission Impossible and Jason Bourne, you know, just looking at how those movies are shot, how cool and stylized that is. We referred to it as the swagger of those movies. Because from there, all we wanted to do is replace their heroes with a pigeon. And we felt like the more grounded and cool that stuff looked, the more ridiculous it felt when there was a pigeon there. We didn't want to make this a spoof. We wanted to make this a legitimate spy movie, just at the hands of a crazy gadget person who transformed their spy into a pigeon.
Yeah.
I think the first place we started is because this is what will be, I think, a lot of kids' first spy movies. I think we wanted to first honor the tropes, right? So we know we got to go to all these international locales. We know we got to have big action. We know there's got to be sexy cinematography and lighting. But at the same time, it's an animated movie about two people, unlikely characters coming together. So we knew there'd be comedy and tension and conflict. That would be a lot of fun. Everybody, like our collaborators, Will, Tom, Rashida, Ben, Karen, DJ Khaled, almost everybody.
Not only incredibly talented actors, they're phenomenal collaborators. And that was something where we had a lot of fun working with them, because they not only wanted to say lines, they wanted to explore them. They wanted to explore the story, and we would just start riffing and going off page and coming up with different ideas. So they were really game for that. And in animation, like you brought up at the beginning, everything has to be planned. You don't get anything for free. That's the one place where you could find a lot of spontaneity, is working with the actors and coming up with stuff you didn't expect to find.
We set out in the very beginning to have fun and to communicate and work well with each other. And I think that fun and that collaboration has spread into the entire team, and you can feel it in the movie. We really believe if you're having fun making the movie, you'll feel that, the audience will feel that when they're watching the movie. And I'm very proud of that. And I'm proud of you.
Thank you. Thank you.
We love each other.
Tom has a charisma and an earnestness about him that even when we were trying to cast, like we were going through names and names and names. Like who's the right person for this? No, this isn't the right person. This is too much. This guy's a bit too much of a clown. This guy's too straight-laced. And trying to find that balance was really tough. And it was really Tom. We sort of saw him in a trailer and we're like, oh my God, that's the guy. And
so
please,
sincere.
Yeah, and we were just like, please say yes. And he did.
There's no other way to say it than when we first started and we said, we got to make the coolest action hero. We went back and said, who is ours? And it was Will Smith. And, you know, we started building the character. We started, you know, both personality, the way the character looked and everything about him. And then we're like, how are we going to get him? Like, because he's Will Smith, right? But we were very lucky to first even get a meeting with him and pitching the movie and pitching our hearts out. He was into it and he really wanted to do it. And it was a dream come true to meet your hero and know how much your hero really cares about stories and storytelling and making the movie as best as it can. And he was a collaborator the whole way through.
Even Ben as a person is a intimidating guy to be in a sound booth with. But outside of the sound booth, he's the most genuine, nice, like...
Oh, he's amazing.
He's such an amazing person, but then you get in that booth and he turns those lights down and you're just like, oh, I should have stepped into this booth. He's got this amazing ability to bring that terrifying voice through and yet still stay connected to that emotion, which I think really comes through in that third act that you're talking about, where you go, oh my gosh, this is someone who's in pain. And that's, again, we when it comes to casting, we lucked out with an amazing cast who we threw some complex performance choices at, and they were amazing. We had a lot of fun with DJ Khaled.
DJ Khaled, love him.
Yeah, it was great.
Man, he is, you see why he's where he is. He's a mogul for a reason. The guy works hard, and he was so game to do whatever we asked him to do, and we really appreciate that.
She plays Joy Jenkins, who everyone nicknames as Joyless. and that's pretty much tells you the kind of personality she has, which is such a weird thing when you think of Reba McEntire, who's completely the opposite. In fact, when we pitched her, we said, okay, her nickname's Joyless, which tells you kind of where you have to come in on this movie, and she was so excited about that. She was like, oh, I can't wait to do that. So different from what I typically do. And but it was amazing because she is such an effervescent personality that even in a character who's supposed to be dour in those moments, you still really feel this fun connection to her. She really brought that sort of undercurrent of charisma to a character who could be pretty flat otherwise. It's incredible. It's such a huge, Teddy Shapiro, our composer, just put together a phenomenal score. And it was the same thing. We went to him, like we did with all the sort of the tropes. We're like, you hear a Bond theme, you know it. You hear that Mission Impossible theme, you know it. And our first challenge to him was like, we need a thematic bed of music that when you hear it, you think Lance Sterling, you think Spies in Disguise. And then from that, he just built this incredible score. I mean, adjectives, I think epic, I think exciting, I think global, but then I also say heartfelt and endearing and hopefully aspirational. And I think that juxtaposition is what we were always after, that you have this really intimate story, heartfelt story inside this gigantic, big action set piece, and hopefully that comes through.
We feel a tremendous responsibility with delivering what might be a kid's first spy movie. And, it's been so passionate for us to not just have fun with all the things that come with making a spy movie, but at the same time delivering a message that you think can possibly make the world a better place. One thing I think that was different that we did on this film than we've done on some of our other films is we sort of brought an improvisational aspect to the writing of our comedy. So, like Troy was saying, we didn't really want to have just one-liners, which I think is more typical of an animated film. We really wanted to feel that rhythm, that banter that you'd get in a buddy comedy. One amazing point in the filmmaking process is sometimes these characters come to life in a way that you don't expect. And as we defined Walter and as we defined our theme and stuff, at one point we had written a line, and it's not really in the movie the same way, but Walter was like, talking to Lance Sterling, and he's like, you say you're the good guy, right? But what do your actions say, right? And it was such a defining sort of moment, and it really helped us see who the villain was, who the hero is. And it's such a good question, and we try to not be so on the nose with that for kids watching that, but it's so important for the kids who are watching this movie to say, I know we call ourselves the good guys, but do our actions say that? One of the things that you learn and discover through time is just how amazing pigeons really are. Like, they're in every city around the world. Nobody even knows that they're there, right? So they're hiding in plain sight. Pigeons, because they have the eyes on the side of their head, they can see in 360 degrees, which means at any given time, they can see your face and their butt, which is why you can't sneak up on them.
Right. They're one of the fastest birds in the world. Only the peregrine falcon is faster. But because they're so fast, they see at a faster rate of speed than we do. So everything to them feels slow motion. So we would always refer to it as pigeon bullet time.